So, Ronnie O'Sullivan and Barry Hawkins pose with Jan Verhaas and the trophy at the start of this best of 35 frames final for the title, that trophy, and of course the winner's cheque of £250,000. They're playing in effect for 125 grand because that's the money that the runner-up will take. But that trophy, that is something to be able to lift at the end of the final of the Betfair World Snooker Championship. Here we go, frame one of a possible 35. Now then, Mike Hallett, I mentioned the odds briefly, and I know you always look them up before we come on air. How about giving us a slice of that?
Well, listen to this. Ronnie O'Sullivan is 9-1 on to win this match, and Barry quoted at 11-2 against.
No more needs to be said. That's an amazing odds-on price for Ronnie, isn't it?
Just really depends how fresh Barry is feeling after yesterday's match with Ricky, actually. We've seen it before when... Oh, that's a bad mistake, but the sort of #1 seed, whether it be defending champion, whatever, coming through, or the top half especially, because they finished their session on the Saturday afternoon, whereas the second semi-final was always finished on the Saturday evening. But he looks okay. Won't be best pleased with that shot he's just played, though.
1.
Caught it far too thick.
Six. 7.
Well, what a reception these two boys got when they walked out
12.
a few minutes ago. Wonderful atmosphere.
That's an interesting statistic, isn't it? That's throughout the 4 matches that each player has participated in thus far. To have 93% pot success in 4 World Championship matches, Mike, that's extraordinary.
Oh, he's got a kick there. Got a massive kick. Yeah, it is extraordinary. I don't think I've ever seen that before, actually, 93%. Somebody's probably been in the 89s and 90s, but 93, that's really high for the whole tournament. But what a kick that was. Just look at this. Oh.
Cue ball, Barry.
Can't put that one down to Ronnie.
Yes, I'm sure Barry will be aware of Ronnie's pot success. His own at 88, some 5 percentage points lower. Not bad 88, but my goodness, he'll have to be in the 90s if he's to have any chance of defeating Ronnie O'Sullivan, who, let me just remind you folks, has never lost here in the final.
Yeah, I think he's just having a little chat with Barry there about that contact on the black.
My, that was thin.
Well, fortunate to leave the white there.
6 times these two have met in competition since they turned professional. Although, funnily enough, they've not met since 2008. 5 years since they last met. And Ronnie has won 5 of their 6 previous confrontations.
Well, that's why the odds are stacked against this man. But it's imperative, really, for Barry that he stays with Ronnie today. There's one session this afternoon, there's another one this evening. And we know how well Ronnie has been playing. He's been playing some sublime snooker, and we know what a good front runner he is as well. If he gets 2 or 3 frames in front, he can go off into the distance.
Yes, that's what Barry's got to be very careful of. He comes into this match as the longest odds against winning in this particular tournament here at the Crucible since Joe Johnson met Steve Davis in 1986. And we all know what happened that year.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, Mike, the bookies have even got the odds up for next season's
don't tell
tournament.
me.
Yes, 2014, they've got Ronnie installed at 4-1 favourite for next year. Ooh.
Oh, that wasn't the red he aimed for.
Well, you take that.
He will indeed.
He's got away with that.
Well, there's a half chance the red next to the black, but he completely missed the ball he was aiming for. A fifth final, as I said at the top of the programme, for Jan Verhaas. Michaela Tabb became the first female referee to do the final 12 months ago here.
Might be looking to chip in this red in the right corner. He's overdone it, and he's caught the other red as well. Well, I don't know what's the matter with Ronnie, but he's unhappy about something already.
Probably still thinking about that massive kick he got on the pretty straight black.
Yeah, well, whether they've put the heaters up on the table or something, I don't know. When he feels it's just too hot, and it might be helping to get a few kicks. We've seen a few kicks actually this year during the tournament. Yeah, the players have been discussing about hopefully the manufacturers could make a slightly heavier ball because his cloths are so fine. And you've got the heat of the lighting, television lighting, and you've got the heat underneath the table. We have been discussing it, I know that, but whether it comes to fruition, I'm not sure.
That's a nicely played shot off the yellow.
3.
But now he's got the problem of getting on to the next colour from this red.
It might have some angle on this red. I wonder if you can just punch down for the black here. Well, he's gone the other way. Well, that's okay. He does have the black, but it's to the middle. It's a little tricky one, though.
Tricky indeed.
Barry Hawkins, 4.
He'll be disappointed there. He should have really have got that. He had quite a bit of the pocket to aim at.
Thanks. 1. Seven. Eight.
Not a bad knuckle.
No, he would have been way down in the balk area had he just hit that side cushion straight, and he wouldn't have been on the black. That knuckle has certainly helped him, Mike.
Well, he can stun off the top cushion here into the reds. Well, it might have been on the yellow, but it might have just about been on the black. I know what you're saying, though. Two cushions. Well, he's caught something. He's okay there. He's on the red.
15.
He's a little bit awkward between these two reds. I don't know whether he can get some action just to hold for the black here. Or action on the white, I should say. He might have to run into the black. Seems okay.
16. $23. 24. 30.
Problem Barry's got here, if he starts to give Ronnie some table time, it could be normal service resumed, i.e. what's gone on during this tournament. Because this guy's come back, he's played really well. His long game was a little bit suspect in the opening round, but since then he's really got it together. He's played over the longer matches, and of course he's played his way in. And his percentages in every department has just sort of lifted in every round.
37.
Another kick. Played back for the pink there. Well, there's the Crucible Theatre. It's a wonderful theatre when we come down to this one-table situation. We keep saying it, but it is. And that's a good recovery. Should win the frame now.
45.
That was some kick, but the red, fortunately for him,
46.
did stay on course that time. Normally they straighten up a bit. Well, he's past the snooker's required position now. So the
52.
opening frame is going to go to the defending champion.
Thanks, man. 53. $59. 60.
'With just enough points here,
67.
a century in this opening frame. Some way to start.
68. 74.
Yeah. Well, a very impressive 74, notwithstanding that yellow. And Ronnie O'Sullivan, the defending champion, opens his bid for a 5th title by taking the first frame against Barry Hawkins.
Aspire Academy, a new realm of sport empowerment, where talented youth is nurtured, where pursuit of dreams is spurred, where dedication and passion are rewarded, where human potential is maximized, where champions are developed. Aspire Academy, where sports is a way of life.
Not only does Luxembourg offer a favourable framework for business, a menu of cultural delicacies, but also a quality of life that will leave you speechless.
Welcome back to the Crucible Theatre. Barry Hawkins has been the best spectator in the house over these first 2 frames against Ronnie O'Sullivan in this final of this Betfair World Snooker Championship. Ronnie O'Sullivan amassing breaks of 74 and 92, and but for missing a yellow in each of them, should well have had 2 centuries, but not to worry, he won't complain. He's 2-0 ahead. Here's frame 3 of a possible 35.
He's got to get stuck in here, Barry. No doubt about that. Always nice to get your first frame on the board as well.
Yes, but you mentioned the threat of the masterclass, Mike, and I think that was what he gave really in his quarter-final against Stuart Bingham. He should really have won that match 13-1. I know that sounds crazy, but he got to 12-1 before Stuart gathered himself and got 3 frames on the bounce before Ronnie eventually crossed the line. Now, methinks that's the Hawkins family. Oh, gosh, that was the mighty thing. Still, good strength, look at that.
Oh, that's wide.
Foul. And a miss. Barry Hawkins. Yeah. Yeah. Barry. Foul.
Wide again.
Miss. Barry Hawkins 6. Yeah. Pardon? Yeah. You've got to really read this down, okay?
Well, Ronnie's been warned here because obviously he's missed it twice, and this is 3rd attempt, and he can see a ball on. So he must hit a red this time, otherwise the frame will be awarded against him.
Yes, we saw the 3rd incident of that happening here at the Crucible in this very championship. It seems like a long time ago now, but Deshawat Pumjang suffered that ignominy in his match against Michael White in the 2nd round.
Yes, and you can see now why Ronnie chose the other routes, because he knew that was the dangerous red on the side cushion there. Hasn't left Barry anything easy here. Yeah, that's a good return. Although I think this red on the right-hand side will pot. It's not easy though. Well, he hasn't got much angle there. That's better. Well played. There was enough though to get back for the blue. Well, a great red to get in, but he's got to make it count.
Six. Seven.
Well played.
Yes, and he's deliberately played for this red just to the right of the black spot
13.
to clear the passage of the black into both corners when, hopefully for him, he gets that black back onto its spot.
I think he's playing the one through the gap,
I do believe he is, Mike.
which actually, as you can see now, would clear the black.
14.
But he doesn't really want to pot the black until he's got rid of that other red.
Yeah, they might fly on those two now.
This time, perhaps.
19.
He might play the higher one, just hold for the black.
Switch it off, please.
Oh, dear me. Mobile phone. Incredible.
Don't people check them when they're asked to? Huh?
20. $27. $28.
Short of pace. We'll have to negotiate the ball colours here. And so often we see things go wrong. Yes, it's not so bad playing it that way if you play in between then come off the side cushion. It's just if you're playing straight up and down, there's a chance of catching them either on the way in or on the way out, but he's played that well. He's in good position here with a 43-point lead. A great chance to put this frame on the board. And I'm sure that will settle him down. He knows he's got to work on here in the next 2 days, but at the end of the day, I think whatever happens here, Barry, just enjoy it. You know, and who knows? He knows that Ronnie's a massive favourite, but just go out there and enjoy it.
Well, he didn't enjoy that shot, Mike, because he's underhit it considerably. Well played. That was not easy.
$41.
Well, the straight red is awkward, it's hampered queuing, but this is the better red for position. But it's a slightly more difficult pot. It's there, well played. Should win the frame from here. He will get chances in 35 frames, but he's got to put them away. Ronnie, as good as he is, can't pot everything. Otherwise we might as well go home. Oh. Had a second look, didn't it?
And the third.
49. 50.
So Barry gets his first half century of the match.
$57. 58.
Well, he might just push this red towards this right corner pocket. Well, he needs the black and one more red. Yes, nicely done. He's played the percentage chop. And he won't miss this.
65. Sorry.
This has been a very good, well, it's been a great contribution, really, from Barry. He needed it. You know, if he goes 3-0 behind, things can start to happen. But again, this should just settle in.
66.
And it's been a super break.
And now he has the chance of the century that eluded Ronnie in the first two frames. In each case, it was the yellow, after the colours, after the reds had all gone, that stopped Ronnie from getting to three figures. But
72.
Barry should well be over the century line if he keeps potting before he needs the yellow. He's only had 3 centuries in his trip to the final. Ronnie's had 7.
$73. 80. 81.
'No, he might wanted to miss that yellow. Funny, isn't it? The yellow's impeded him here and getting back up the table. It was the yellow that stopped Ronnie from getting the centuries. But he's still got this long range one here. A good 88 nonetheless. And he's in this match now. He's got his name on the scoreboard as we head for a break. He's pulled Ronnie back a frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan 2, Barry Hawkins 1.
Dikkat et oğlum.
Pass auf. Pass op, pass op, pass op.
Attentie ins Badezimmer.
Nee.
Kalm.
Kijk, zo doen maar.
Kom op.
Follow the score of your favorite team live and find the latest results and features with Eurosport's live score.
Get Eurosport.com for your iPhone free. Every day sees full and expert coverage of sports news with dozens of articles and an easy one-stop video section that lets you live and relive the very best moments of sport. Follow all the scores, fixtures and tables live. Eurosport.com, the reference and sport apps available on the App Store.
Back here at the Crucible Theatre in Sheffield on this, the first of the 2 days of this Betfair World Snooker Championship final. Ronnie O'Sullivan leading Barry Hawkins by 2 frames to 1. Ronnie O'Sullivan in his 5th final here at the Crucible. Barry Hawkins, before this season, this time, had never been past the second round.
And he hasn't played a great break-off shot there. He's left it, he left that cue ball well short. Might see Ronnie attack this red on the right-hand side. He can drop this in for the black. Not quite this time, but that is an aspect of Barry's game that he must make sure he keeps tight. He doesn't want to give Ronnie easy-ish chances to get in. I mean, that wasn't easy, but Ronnie's been playing and I expect him to knock that in, actually. But he's not been right on it so far in this in the early doors in this final. So Barry back in then. Well, can he make this 2 each at the interval?
He'll certainly be putting everything into this frame, Mike, to try and do that.
Just remind everybody at home that this session there's 8 frames to be played.
4.
9 this evening on the comeback, and then it's 8 and then 10 if needed in the final session.
5.
Well, he's a little bit awkward on the black. He might take the pink.
Just give me a second, please, Barry.
Where's the pink going? The pink spot is held. All the other spots are unavailable, I should say. So
He's just checking the
will
black.
it go onto the black spot? It might.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Huh.
Thank you. 11.
So the pink is actually on the black spot. Didn't think it was available, Mike.
Yeah, use the marker, but as you can see there is a gap. It's got to be on that spot without touching the black.
12.
That's why Jan asked Barry just to give him a minute, because he thought the pink might have to go behind the reds, which always takes some time. Well, I was saying that that Barry will get chances,
70.
but he's got to score heavily.
Well, he did that in the last frame. And we've had 3 frames, Mike, and 3 good contributions from these two.
Yep, there's been a few early chances in all of those frames, but good breaks at the end of them.
18.
That's just about rolled beyond the line of the middle pockets. As we give you this overview once again of this lovely Crucible Theatre, which stages all sorts of productions during the year. But for 2.5 weeks, at the end of April into the beginning of May, it's home to snooker.
$23. 24.
Well, that's not bad. Okay, he's played on the blue to the middle, but he has a shot to the corner. And he's opened up 2 or 3 of the reds. Well played. He's just had enough angle there to play what we call a power stun shot to get over for these reds. I'm not sure, as we watch the replay, I'm just thinking about the
29.
pink. I'm not sure whether that is available. He's just checking that now. If it is, I think he might have to be fairly straight on it. Otherwise, just concentrate on the blue. It doesn't really matter how you put the frames on the board. And at this moment in time, 2-all at that interval with the start Ronnie had, he'd be delighted.
30.
Well, we've had a great season, Mike. We've had a great tournament here. I tell you what would be really nice if either of these players could make a maximum.
35.
Just a little bit of icing on the cake.
Oh, you are a greedy.
Why not? We haven't had one yet. The highest break is 143, still held by Neil Robertson. That's guaranteeing him £10,000. Anybody who does make a maximum gets £35,000. But why not? We've got enough frames.
Well, there have been 10 here at the Crucible since that historic one from Cliff Thorburn in 1983. Gosh, it's 30 years ago, Mike. And of course, a few years ago, we had 2 in the same World Championship where Ronnie O'Sullivan and Ali Carter both had maximums in the same tournament. I think they were in consecutive
42.
days. And then they both got to the final, those two,
Yeah,
didn't they?
it was funny actually because Ronnie made his first and he said that's a new Bentley for me, and then Ali made his and he said I think Ronnie's getting a slightly smaller Bentley now.
I think we should give honourable mention to Robert Milkins as well, because Robert had a pretty good tournament here, because he has a
47.
unique distinction of having scored maximums in the World Championship, but not here, in qualifiers. As that red goes in.
48.
Yes, he's twice had a 147, Robert, during the qualifiers, once in 2006 and again last year.
Now, which way will he go? Will he screw back for the blue, or will this pink pot? It's downward striking. I think he's going back for the blue.
54.
Well, this needs to go in, obviously. There's still enough there for Ronnie to get back into this frame. Now he's got a great chance to seal this 4th frame. Well played. And this next red
59.
is frame ball.
Thanks, Barry. 60.
Now then, does he go for the blue here, or does he just play a safety? I think he's trying to chip the blue into the centre. But if he misses, Ronnie will be back. Wow, say the centre. He smacked it in the corner. That's fair enough. Did that go in? I didn't quite see that one.
You blinked, Mike, you missed it.
65.
Great shot. He's beginning to find his feet.
Well, this has turned out to be a very good half session, hasn't it? We've had 4 frames, 4 half centuries, 2 from Ronnie, 2 from Barry. Great entertainment. Now, if I start talking about centuries,
71.
I'll put the evil eye on them, so I'll not mention that.
I thought you just
72.
did. In a roundabout way. It just depends when he gets on the yellow.
$77. 78.
Now, to get the century, can he finish up on this black cushion for this final red? It doesn't look bad. Oh.
81.
And he does have a slight angle.
Yeah, where's the net's colour coming from, though? Unless he plays the pink to the middle. He's missed it. I think he's got a slight kick there.
Barry Hawkins, 81.
Well, you can't wish for better than that. A 74 and a 92 from Ronnie O'Sullivan, followed by an 88 and an 81 from Barry Hawkins. All square and all fair then after the first 4 frames, as we head for a short commercial break. Barry Hawkins and Ronnie O'Sullivan in this final, all square then at 2 frames apiece.
Dikkat et oğlum.
Pass auf. Pass op, pass op, pass op.
Attention, Fatima.
Nee.
Calm, calm.
Kalm.
Vur. Git, shoot hem maar.
What?
Goal!
Follow the score of your favorite team live and find the latest results and features with Eurosport's live score.
Get Eurosport.com for your iPhone free. Every day sees full and expert coverage of sports news with dozens of articles and an easy one-stop video section that lets you live and relive the very best moments of sport. Follow all the scores, fixtures and tables live. Eurosport.com, the reference in sport apps available on the App Store.
Here we are again with frame 6 now of the 8 to be played this afternoon, this first session of this Betfair World Snooker Championship final. Barry Hawkins taking the lead from Ronnie O'Sullivan after Ronnie took the first 2 frames. Good consistent contributions from Barry though. An 88 and 81 in that last frame. He had both a 45 and a 50. So now the onus on Ronnie to do something to get back.
I don't think this was in the O'Sullivan script. And again, it's a poor safety. Well, he'd be absolutely livid with himself because that was a great chance to get in. The last thing he wanted to do was allow Ronnie in with all reds open. Came right across that one. Should have got that. And he knows it.
One.
Well, Ronnie trying to open things up a little more, but the black's still tied up. And the pink's
6.
not too handy either.
Seven.
Well, that's a possible. To free up the pink. A little more. Gone the other way though. Well, you could play on the pink to the centre.
12. $13. 18. $19. 24.
Well, if he's on the red nearest the pocket, that would be ideal because it frees up the others then to that corner. And I think he is. Well, that was a bonus. But it's not a great
25.
positional shot. Well, after that good start from him in the first 2 frames, he's struggled a little bit since then. Let's be honest.
Yes, there have been 1 or 2 unexpected misses from him. But nothing wrong with that blue, the rest. Although even there, the position of play is not perfect.
30.
Yes, it gave him a chance to open up things a little, but again, unlucky to see the white finish near that side cushion.
31.
Well, he has the yellow, actually. He's got the blue, but he's got a good angle on the yellow as we watch the replay. Just able to clip that black open.
$33.
Well, running that department and the rest success. But a fair margin, actually. Just depends how many shots you've had.
Yes, however, that is the tournament success with the rest, and there, over 4 matches and a bit, you see Barry Hawkins ahead.
$40. $41.
Well, Barry had the initial chance when he missed
47.
that red to the corner to allow Ronnie in. These could have
48.
been his. And he's played well to come back from 2-0 behind to lead 3-2. But he might have let this one slip.
55.
Well, the half centuries keep coming. They haven't had a frame without one yet.
56.
And that's pretty good going, isn't it? Average frame time, just over the quarter of an hour mark. Not quite where he wanted the cue ball.
61.
And he still needs another red as well. Just looking to drift by that red. And the frame was definitely over, but now he still needs a good pot. Well, he's got it.
62.
Yes, the all-important frame ball.
Make sure with the pink, I suppose. Well played. Well, good visit here from Ronnie to make it 3 apiece.
68.
Probably preparing the path of the pink.
Well, that's made certain
69.
of this 6th frame.
Well, I think Ronnie's just a little bit concerned with the pace of the table here. He feels it should be playing slightly faster than what it actually is. I know the fitters have been on this table sort of afternoon, night and evening, trying to well, afternoon and evening, trying to get the pace up with double irons and whatever. Now, could we be seeing the first century? Oh,
Michael.
Why did I say that? Well, I didn't expect him to miss the black.
Neither did I, but you know what happens when we say these things. Nevertheless, a 76, more than enough to give him that 6th frame, and so the back square once again. Ronnie O'Sullivan 3, Barry Hawkins 3, and they have 2 more frames to play still in this session.
Is our champion. Well, for a man who shows very few emotions, he suddenly wakes up to the fact of exactly what he has achieved. This was the plan. Look at that! Perfectly delivered, and he's just said goodbye to everybody.
Magnificent ride, brilliant win.
The Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
He has to be mentally strong himself, as you say, which he is normally.
And they have won the UEFA Under-17 European Championship. Yes, he can. He's fizzed in again, and that is the opening goal, this time for Germany.
Outstanding action. Extreme emotion. That's May on Eurosport. The Giro d'Italia from May the 4th to the 26th, live on Eurosport and Eurosport 2.
The Giro d'Italia on Eurosport is presented to you by BetAtHome.com. Life is a game.
Japan quality. Yokohama. Your tire.
Thank you. Frame 7. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
You had a chance in the last of the red over the corner, and then you've just played a poor one there. He had the upper hand a couple of frames ago. I think there's another red to the opposite corner. Well, it seems he's looking at this one. It just looks like it will go. Don't know whether he can get through the gap here for the left-hand red. Caught this far too thin. Well, we've been talking about Ronnie's safety actually. That's not been all that good in the last couple of frames, but Barry's thrown one in there. Once the red left of the black, and he's just about got there. Well, there's the file. He's just trying to break the tip up a little bit. Sometimes when you constantly chalk in the cue, it just builds up what we call a skin, and you have to break that up so the actual tip will take the chalk.
$14. $15. $22. $23.
Well, whatever's written, read, said, talks about this guy, first and foremost, on the green base, he's a genius.
Looks very much like Hugh Edwards to me, the BBC newsreader, taking a very serious looking interest in this final.
Thanks.
Perhaps he's preparing the next headline.
31. $37.
Well, I do believe that might be, I'm sure, I don't want to insult somebody, it could be Damien Hirst, actually, the artist, who's a very good friend of Ronnie O'Sullivan's. Under that hat. But if it isn't, I apologise.
Thanks. 38.
He's incognito.
I thought it was in a woolly hat.
No, he's actually in Sheffield.
$44. $45. $51. $52.
Great cannon there.
59.
This is fast and furious stuff, I should say, Mike, and it's very entertaining as well.
Easy for you to say, Mike.
I'll try and get the proper teeth in for tomorrow.
And we still haven't had a frame without a half century, and Ronnie's almost up
66.
to the snooker's required position here.
We still haven't had a frame without a century. Should I have said that?
Don't say that. We haven't had a frame with a century.
With a century, so I meant to say, yeah.
Keep that amongst yourselves.
OK, I was just thinking out loud. Good chance here. This is a great chance here.
$72.
Well, no, Ronnie was not say wobbling, but he was missing a few, making a few mistakes, and he's just got his act back together again here.
$80.
Possible 139 if
81.
he clears with blacks. Of course, he can't get to Neil Robertson's 143, which is still in pole position for the £10,000 high break prize.
88. 89.
Well, it would be a 690th century if he makes it.
96.
But he still would be 85 centuries behind Stephen Hendry's record.
$103.
Well, there we are. Yet another century for Ronnie O'Sullivan. It puts him top of the pile this fortnight. That's his 8th.
104.
Trumps had 7. Ricky Walden and Ding Junhui have had 6, but Ronnie's 8th here this fortnight. Actually, it's his... Oh, where's the white going? No, he's all right. It's his 126th here at the Crucible in his 21 appearances. And as that yellow bangs in, you do well to get the green.
113.
Just dig into the corner, Ron. He's now within 1 of Stephen Hendry's record. No, sir. 113. He's now scored 126 centuries here at the Crucible in his career. Stephen Hendry holds the record with 127, so he's within 1 of that as he now leads Barry Hawkins 4-3.
Our champion. Well, for a man who shows very few emotions, he suddenly wakes up to the fact of exactly what he has achieved.
This was the plan. Look at that! Perfectly delivered, and he's just said goodbye to everybody.
Magnificent ride, brilliant win.
The Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
He has to be mentally strong himself, as you say, which he is normally.
And they have won the UEFA Under-17 European Championship. Yes, he can. It's fizzed in again, and that is the opening goal, this time for Germany.
Outstanding action. Extreme emotion. That's May on Eurosport. The Giro. The first Grand Tour of the season across the length and breadth of Italy. Week 1 is sprinter-friendly, and the usual suspects will wind up the work. But the peloton's bound to be nervy before the time trial fireworks really set the race alight. It's time to fight for pink. The Giro d'Italia Stage 3, tomorrow at 14:45, live on Eurosport 2 and at 2300 on Eurosport.
Thank you. The final frame of the session. Barry Hawkins to break.
It's close. It's good now. Still that work being done on that tip. Well, hang on, could this be close? Yes. Well, he found the gap. He missed the pot, found the gap initially with the cue ball. But no real damage done. Well, look at that. The average frame time has gone down now. It's gone down from 15 to 13 minutes.
Well, that was a very quick frame, that last one, Mike. It was only about 11 minutes. He doesn't mess about, does he, when the balls are scattered and he's on for a century.
Well, I think he was trying to rest on that red, but there is a red on here for Ronnie. It's not easy. Play.
It wasn't easy. But with this fella, he makes it look easy sometimes, doesn't he?
Well, he's just got himself back in the zone here, hasn't he? The last 20 minutes or so. Don't think he's got the angle to try and chip out this red, so he might go back for the blue here.
Seven.
Or the yellow.
Yes, it's a bit pacey for the blue now.
This has been a great session of snooker between these two. Thoroughly entertaining. More of the same, please, lads.
9. Thanks. 10.
I think you can say that he's got choices.
15.
That's a great shot. Got the backspin just to kill the white.
60.
Great shots those, aren't they? Beautiful. Pink is available to this right corner. You just check that now. Well, Ronnie's just switched up a gear here in the last 3 frames.
$29. $30.
Might come off 2 cushions here. Oh, I was thinking about munching the red and the black open. Doesn't have to do that.
35. $36.
Wrong side of the blue. He's got a chance to actually play a cannon into the red and black. White in and out of bulk. Oh, he's missed it. Well, he's still on the red. But he attempted to try and nudge the red and black open and then stay on this same red.
Yes, touch fortunate really to still be on this red to the right corner after getting that knuckle.
Needs to come through them, 42. Which it has done. Well, he's got a perfect angle on the green, and he's also got a good angle on the yellow. If he gets this right, it could be 5-3, and he knows it. Now, can he get the split? Looks good. It looks very good.
Oh, settle for that, Mike.
Yes, and he's got the red into the corner. He can stun the other red away from the black spot beyond the black. He's just gone up a gear here, Mike, hasn't he?
How true. That was a great shot off the yellow. Much smaller target. Just 6 reds there instead of more or less the full pack.
53.
And so we're going to be completing the session having had at least a half century in every single frame. Tremendous stuff from both players.
60.
Frame ball for a 5-3 lead.
61. $66.
Well, if he misses this red, it's 3 snookers if Barry comes back. Oh, got it anyway. So 5-3 it is definitely going to be now come the end of this session. What a rip-roaring session it's been.
$72. 73.
Oh, a chance of back-to-back centuries, and a record equalling century it would be for Ronnie if he were to get this one. He would be equalling Stephen Hendry's 127 in the Scotsman's career here at the Crucible.
81. $88.
Well, Barry's played his part here and led 3-2 at
89.
one stage, 3 frames in a row, but Ronnie coming back with a vengeance here.
$95. 97.
This green then to equal Stephen Hendry's record of 127 crucible centuries. Well, crucial as well. And that is the one. His 127th in 21 appearances here in Sheffield. Whoa.
100 and the frame.
Well, 100 exactly. And it ends what's been an absolutely scintillating session. We've had half centuries in every single frame, 2 of which Ronnie has converted into full centuries back to back in frames 7 and 8. But at the end of it, he leads Barry Hawkins by 5 frames to 3. Well, that really has been terrific. Ronnie's had a 74, a 92, a 76, a 113 and a 100. Barry, in the middle of all that, has had an 88, an 81 and a 50, as well as a 45 in that same frame in which he got the 50. Wonderful stuff, and there they are having a little chat about it all, knowing that they've still got to do a lot more yet before this championship is decided. Well, the evening session, 9 frames, begins over on 1, by the way, on the other channel here at 8 o'clock Central European time, which of course is 7 o'clock on British. But in the meantime, with the news that Ronnie O'Sullivan leads Barry Hawkins by 5 frames to 3 in this final, for the moment, from the Crucible Theatre here in Sheffield, goodbye.